Welcome back to a new episode of the Rectified podcast. Today, my guest is Emma Lukian, the founder of Good Big Nice. We're going to tell you all about the product because it's really nice and yummy. Well, Emma, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so
Of
happy
course.
to be here.
Yeah, I'm happy that you're here too. Emma, tell us a little bit more about Good Big Nice. What are these products that we see in front of us?
So we make fermented foods specializing in kimchi. We also make sauerkrauts, pikliz, and pickles. We've been in business for 6 years in October.
Yeah.
And you can find us in almost 800 stores across Quebec.
Amazing. What does Good Big Nice mean? What is Good Big
why
Nice?
is that the name?
Yeah.
Do I have such a silly name for my company? I started the company with my husband.
Yeah.
And when we met each other, he didn't speak the most English, like the best English, almost no French. And him and I had to speak to one another all the time in order to function because we were both the heads of our departments. And anytime I would come to him asking like, how's the day going? How's the team going? How's it, whatever it was. His answer was always, it's good, big, nice. And he would just shout it to me from across the
Why
room. He was
would
like,
he
good,
say
big,
that?
nice. I was, yeah, that's it. I was like, what is this guy saying? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like, does he know that it sounds ridiculous? But it made me laugh. It made everybody else laugh. And just, so when we decided to start a company, we just kind of wrote it as a placeholder.
Yeah.
And then never got around to changing it.
Yeah.
Even though we had said, we're like, one day we're going to have a real business name. Like that, but no, never changed it.
No.
And it stuck and it works. And I love it.
So what made you think about making kimchi or sauerkraut?
I did not think
Yeah.
of this. This was all Nikita. This was my husband's idea. I mean, the simple answer is just we couldn't find what we wanted on the market. Same as a lot of founders who start a CPG business. We couldn't find the type of fresh, crunchy, local kimchi that we wanted in our everyday stores. But the other reason is that we had a catering company. We were trying to source kimchi, couldn't get it. So Nikita started making it in our home for our catering company. And he's Russian, so his background is a lot of fermented foods. He always made it with his family. We always had it in the house. So he just started incorporating it because we couldn't find it. I was like, the recipe is great. We were using his mom's sauerkraut recipe, his kimchi recipe. I'm like, it's really, really good. Like I started to love it, even as somebody who didn't really know much about kimchi or fermented stuff prior. And then so when we lost that catering business because of the pandemic, it was his idea. He's like, I think, look, if we couldn't find what we wanted, maybe other people want this and can't find it. Let's put this in a jar. Let's try to approach a grocery store and see if we could sell it that way.
What happened next? Like, how did you sell these things that you made at home?
It's a good question because, I didn't even know. I was like, how are we supposed to, I don't know how that happens, how it goes from making it at home to like being in a grocery store. We made one phone call. I called one grocery store in our neighborhood because we thought, let's just ask some people if this is even a good idea, right? Quote unquote, very basic market research. So called a store just to say, hey, what do you guys think? Like, would you want this type of a product? And the woman on the phone had kind of misunderstood what I was saying. She thought that I had the product and was asking if she would want it. So she ordered on the phone. She was like, we would love it. Just bring us 4 cases of whatever you've got. Like, this would be great. When do you think you could deliver it? And I said 2 weeks because my brain just, I don't even know what happened. It was just marshmallows up there. I just went 2 weeks and then got off the phone and just looked at my husband and was like, so we need to do this because I just told somebody that we would do it. And so that kind of really lit a fire onto, like, we didn't have jars. I mean, we had some products.
You didn't have 4 cases.
No, I didn't have a physical jar, an empty jar. We'd been testing for a long time for fun with our family and stuff. And then within that 2 weeks, we're like, okay, we need to go out and we need to figure out how to make a label. We didn't have we had nothing. So we kind of scrapped together what we could for that. And then that one store reordered the next week. And then reordered the next week.
Wow.
And so we just went, okay, wait, I think that this is really, really something. Like, let's go. And then, so same thing, just knocked on doors. We just started knocking on doors. We live in the plateau, so we went to, we have so many
smaller
of these beautiful
boutiques.
Grocery stores, and just asked, hey, you guys want, just showed up with jars, a little case. Hey guys, my name is Emma. Like, do you guys want my kimchi? And then that's what we did for a long time.
How did you make these labels?
This is, I was about to say a new label. It's a newer version of a label. The first labels were...
Because I'm like, you didn't even have a jar.
Nope.
So
nope. The first
let alone
labels
this cute branding.
they're cute. I liked them, but then thankfully Nikita has a background in marketing and in visual effects, so he made our first label, which isn't this one, but our original labels, which looked similar.
Yeah.
He made them on Photoshop.
Okay.
That is how we did it.
Okay.
I read all of the labeling guidelines, the Canadian guidelines. It's like 400 and some odd pages.
How complicated is that?
It's probably not very complicated, but as somebody going in who knew nothing about it was complicated. I found it to be very overwhelming. I didn't understand how to make a nutritional facts table. Like we made it on PowerPoint, not PowerPoint, on what's the word I just said prior? Photoshop. Thank you. On PowerPoint. Yeah. Like a kid of the 90s.
Same, but different.
But so we had to make the nutritional facts table and everything. So it felt very overwhelming and very complicated. Yeah. Now there's a lot of templates that exist, even through like the federal websites and stuff. So it would be easier now. But at the time, either we couldn't find those or it didn't exist.
Okay.
So it was.
And the nutrition facts, like, do you need an expert or something? Like, how do you decide what to write on it?
So we just had a program. Like we built a program. This is where I'm like, it could have been easier. We made our lives harder. We built a program through Excel where we could figure out how many grams and how many milligrams of everything was in it, because these formulas exist. It tells you, well, this is how much potassium is in it if based on the vegetables and the quantities that you're putting in. So we just figured it out. Now it's been validated. Now we've sent all of our stuff to a lab. That's what you can do. You just send it to a lab and then they let you know what there is. They test it. But at the time, we figured it out on our own.
That's interesting.
Was it accurate? I don't know. Our first ones were very accurate. But.
Exactly. Food is very complicated. Like, I'm surprised how you managed to do this label and the nutrition facts and all of it, and then get into the small stores.
Yeah.
After that, now you mentioned that you are in very big, one of like all the big stores here in the province. Yeah. How did that happen?
That took a long time. It feels to me, even though I just said that we've been doing this for 6 years, in my mind, it feels like we've had two separate businesses. Because for the first 4 years, we did that. It was really scrappy. It was just, I don't even know if we knew what our goal was. Like, what are we trying to do? We were just reacting. Okay, people want this product. Okay, let's just get it into these boutiques. Let's go try. We were trying, you call Sobeys, you call Metro, you try to get it, but any big player was telling us no. And we couldn't figure out why. And it took us 4 years to figure out, we're like, okay, it's not that they don't want the product, it's that the category is a bit messed up.
What does it mean?
So the fermented foods category in a bigger grocery store either didn't exist, or if it did exist, it was like smaller producers who could do backdoor sales but couldn't work direct to like the entrepot of these big banner stores. So, or they were getting imported products who could scale really big, had all the certificates that they needed, but there was nobody, at least we saw that there was nobody local making a fresh local product who was able to do big scale and get all the certifications that you need to work directly with a big banner store like that. And as soon as we saw that, we're like, well, why? Why not? And then figured out all the reasons why not, and then worked towards that.
Okay.
So it was always like, okay, we know that we need to try to get Metro, we need to try to get IGA. This is what we have to do. And we just got on that path and made it happen.
I'm going to pause the episode for just a minute because I have something for you that I've never offered before. If you're listening to these founder stories and thinking, this is great, but my own growth has been flat for months and I can't figure out why, then this is for you. On August 20, I'm running a free live workshop where I walk you through the 3R strategy. It's the exact framework I use with my private clients to help product brands break through their growth plateau. In 90 minutes, you'll understand why your brand stalled, what to fix first, and you'll walk away with a clear plan instead of more guessing. I've honestly been sitting on this workshop for over a year, and I'm finally putting it out there. It's live on Zoom, it's kept small on purpose so you can actually ask your questions, and it's completely free. The link is in the show notes. Now back to the episode. So you had 4 years where you worked on a very small scale. Yeah. It was you and your husband. You have kids. Probably you had the kids during that time.
Yeah, we had one kid. Yeah, I mean, we just had another one very recently. But we had a kid year one into the business.
It makes me think because I was talking to another entrepreneur a few days ago, and we were talking about how in entrepreneurship you make a lot of money, and then half of it is gone.
Oh,
And then
More
when you pay yourself, another half is gone. So you're left with nothing at the end.
yeah. When do we? Somebody
Yeah.
tell me. When do we make money? When do I see the money? That
Exactly. So I was wondering, like the first 4 years, it's you guys and a baby and, like small stores and all of that. Like it's difficult to manage.
How do we live?
Yeah.
How do we
exactly.
pay our bills?
Exactly.
When we started it, we self-funded the business because we had revenue from the catering company that we had lost. It was pretty successful, the catering one we had. So when it got shut down, we just took all that cash, injected it into the company, and then it was like so small scale that it was just the cash flow was small, but it was running, it was working well, and we didn't need a huge influx of cash until once we started onto that journey of being like, okay, if we're going to work with a bigger players, well, now we need a co-packer, and now we need to get big inventory, and now we have to pay for certifications. We have to, all the these big expenses. We didn't have those prior. We were just getting by. And there was even a part of us that wondered, I was like, do we even really want to try to get bigger? Like this is working just fine. Like we were living modestly, but we were living.
Yeah,
we were
you were
happy.
okay. Yeah.
So it was only once we were like, okay, we are going to make this leap. We are going to try to scale up. That's when we started getting, okay, we're going to get a loan. We're going to get.
So that's how you funded the growth, let's say.
Yeah, we wouldn't have been able to self-finance that kind of growth. There was no way.
Yeah. And you mentioned a co-packer. So he's the one who helps you make these basically? Or how does it work?
Yeah, we just ship all the veggies to him, and he mixes, he ferments, he packages, wraps it all up on a pellet, and then sends it where we.
You give him your recipes and everything.
Yeah. Well, we had to build it with them. So finding a co-packer to make fermented foods was an almost impossible task.
Okay.
I think I spoke to every co-packer in the province. If I didn't, if you're out there and I didn't talk to you, reach out
know.
if ever. If I need a plan B, I don't think I will, but. We spoke to everyone, and every single person told us no. Fermented food, it's alive. Like, so it's not really difficult to manage at scale, but it is, it is volatile. Like it's not stable the way that making a ketchup, let's say, could.
Yeah.
So every co-packer that we were approaching kept telling us no. They're like, we don't have the extra scope of certification in our factory. We can't pause our production because the way fermented works is, most products, let's say if you're making a ketchup, you mix up the tomatoes, it gets all, I don't know, however a ketchup is made, it gets all mixed up, and then it gets heated, and then it gets put in the jar, and then it's done. But from the morning to the night, this product has started, and now it's finished. But with fermented foods, you need to use half the factory to mix it and to like cut up all of the vegetables. You then need to put that product in a vat or a barrel and let it sit there for up to 2 weeks, and then put it back on the production line to package it into the jar. So it interrupts.
It's complicated.
Yeah. So a lot of co-packers told us, like, I can't use half my factory for you for half a day and then not use the other half. Like, it just didn't make sense with the flow of their factories. So everybody told us no. I mean, even, I think I told you this when we spoke prior, we even went on the Quebec Dragon's Den, like dans l'œil de dragon, and they told us, they're like, you're not going to find a co-packer. You're not going to do it. And I was like, yeah, now I am.
Yeah.
But so we had to switch our perspective on how we were trying to find a co-packer. I was like, I feel like we're trying to force our products into a system that exists for other products. So then we just turned it into, we need to find a co-packer who's willing to build this with us, who's going to be curious enough to try, who wants. And as soon as we started looking for that person and not the factory, we found him immediately. And with him, built recipes that worked for his factory. So our products changed slightly. We noticed it, of course, because we're so close to what they were. They didn't change so much, but yeah, he takes our original recipes. We adapted it to work with him, and now he does it all for us.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Fermented food is tricky.
Yeah.
I've heard people have like jars explode and things like that. Did you have such incidents?
Yep. Yeah. One time, a whole barrel, when we were doing it ourselves, we were fermenting in these 55-gallon barrels. I'm sure you could picture it like, a rain barrel, those blue big barrels.
Yeah.
Anyways, and we had the tops need to have these CO2 vats, which allows CO2 to be released, all of the bubbles that are getting created, but it doesn't allow oxygen to come in because it has to be, there can't be any air when it's fermenting. Anyways, we didn't click that in properly. So all of this CO2 bubbles were like building up, and it wasn't releasing. And when we came in one morning, you could hear it had bulged so much that the bottom of the barrel was also bulged. It was no longer flat. And it was like tipping back and forth, going tick, 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 tick.
Oh my God.
And one of us had to go up to it and release the valve. And the entire, I mean, it was like Old Faithful in the National Park. It just exploded everywhere. It was such a mess.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I mean, it's happened to a couple of jars, you know, here and there. They bulge a bit or it leaks. It's pretty standard though for the fermented game.
Yeah. I recently saw on your Instagram, you did some sort of a challenge with other small businesses from Quebec, and you created the Kebwich.
Yeah.
Tell me more about that challenge and how did you come up with this recipe? It was really fun.
Well, I mean, we didn't really come up with this idea at all. This was same method, Mag, Lafleur. Well, Lafleur was the ones who challenged us, and Savura, the tomatoes, which those are big, like no-nonsense companies.
Yeah.
So when they called us to say, hey, we want to do this with other producers and other companies, would you guys be able to do it? I was like, I would love to jump onto this. Yeah. And I said, what do I have to do? They're like, you just have to film a video and deliver it to us within these 2 days. And those 2 days, I was like, I'm gone camping with my family. During those 2 days, I don't know if I can. And they said, even better. We'll ship you the products. Just bring it camping with you guys. And if you can, just film you and your family and making a sandwich at camping. And I was like, perfect.
Pretty
so
cool.
It wasn't even us. It was their ideas. They were like, we think kimchi in a tomato sandwich with some bacon would be a great idea. I was like, it would be a great idea.
I should try it.
Yeah.
I saw the reel, but I never tried it. I should do
It's
it.
so good.
I do have the kimchi at home.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna
and you can take these ones after. There you go. So you can make it. It's incredibly good.
Interesting. Tomato sandwich is making a comeback. I'm seeing it around a lot.
Love.
But yours is special because it's the Kebwich.
The Kebwich, yeah.
That's pretty cool. Do you get a lot of people who send you recipes, things like that, or it's not?
Yeah, a little bit. Well, you know, when we first started, I found it more. Not that people were sending us recipes, more that people were asking us for recipes because they would try the product or they would be like, yeah, I like kimchi, but I don't know, I put it with my dumplings and that's it. I don't really know how else to use it. So it was more people approaching us asking for ideas or suggestions on how to make it. That's why now on the side of our jars, each jar has a little icon, like our suggestions of how about how you could try to use it.
Ramen and dumplings.
With eggs.
With eggs.
That one.
Okay. With rice. Okay. Do you have other recipes?
It's super good. Like in tacos, our mild kimchi, we have an apple ginger kimchi in tacos. Forget about it.
Okay.
So good.
We should try this. All right. Tell me a little bit more about how is it like to work with the bigger stores like Sobeys, Metro, I don't know where else you are.
Super C. PAs, all the PAs.
PA.
Marché Taux. But like the bigger banner stores is we work really with two, with Metro and with Sobeys. Metro also is Super C, which we're in. And then Sobeys is the IGAs.
Yeah.
I love working with them because it just streamlines everything for us. It's so simple. I deliver to one place. That place distributes to all 300 whatever stores they have. So logistically, it makes my life much, much easier. Of course, financially, it's different. There's all these, you have to pay to get your products onto the shelves, whether it's through like a listing fee or a free fill.
Tell me what happens there.
Oh gosh. Well, a listing fee is you just pay, okay, you want one SKU, one product on the shelf. Each one could be, it depends per category. In our category, it's about $7,000 per flavor that you want on the shelf.
Just to have it on the shelf.
Just to have it on the shelf. Or you do something called a free fill, which means you send each store a free case of each flavor.
Okay.
So we chose to do that just because then your product's already on the shelf at least. I was like, okay, let's get it rolling. But so that's something when you're starting to work with a big banner store that you really have to think about, right? Is yes, it's so great. They've said yes. Okay, we're going to get it onto the shelf. But then it's so expensive. All these, you have to pay for promos. You have to pay for there's fees everywhere pretty much. Unloading
Okay.
fees. If your pallet weighs over a certain amount, will you pay a fee for that? So
Interesting.
that, although the logistics is easier, it's heavier financially.
But do you make enough money in these big stores to compensate for the 7,000 and the other smaller fees that add up?
Yeah, it just takes, it took a while. So if you were, my advice to
you're
anybody
new.
who would be wanting to work with that is to really budget yourself, because you're going to start, first of all, you're going to have to build up all of your inventory so you have enough to fulfill the first purchase order, and then the volume that comes right away. And then all those extra like fees that you're going to have to pay, then also how long it takes you to get paid for the first PO. So it's really like 3, maybe sometimes 4 months where you're just spending money and not seeing any money coming back from it.
But then, once
it's
it
great.
starts rolling, it
for us,
starts
we always
rolling.
knew it was like a product like ours, even in the smaller boutiques, like it's a very low margin profit.
Yes,
for us.
exactly.
Like our margin is very small. So we always knew it's high volume, low margin. So you just have to, I mean, if you can figure it out, as long as you can forecast and know, like, yes, we will make the volumes to do it, then
It's very difficult, I find, for food products, anything in this world, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, especially too, if you don't, what took me a long time to figure out was not to just look at your gross sales. Like, part of my language, but like, I don't want to fucking know about my revenue. Like, obviously I care, but that was a number I focused on so much for so long.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that I don't even know how much cash I'm actually making. It took me so long to figure out my contribution margin. It was like a word I had heard, and I was like, oh, that's something I need to figure out. And I'm embarrassed to say how long it really took me to figure out, like, wow, that's how much money we're actually making per jar or per case from this sales channel. Like, it just opened our eyes a lot to where you're actually making money.
It's interesting you're saying that, because you don't come from the business world.
No. No.
Your husband also doesn't come from the business, does he?
No. We both have really good examples of it. Both of our parents are entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
So like we both
But they
grew
will
up
not
in
tell
houses.
you about
No,
cash
my
flow
dad
and
wasn't like,
contribution.
hey, figure out your contribution margin. Although
Exactly.
he could have, you know, looking back, I'm like, you could have mentioned that.
Yeah, but these are all things that every single entrepreneur has to figure out by its own if they don't come from the business world.
Yeah.
And sometimes you learn from your own mistakes, or
it would be nice like not to learn from your mistakes sometimes, but sometimes that's just the only way that you gotta figure it out.
Tell me more about the different channels. Like, you sell in different stores, and that allows you to like diversify your income streams, let's say.
You got to.
And tell me more about
our kinds of streams and like what happens when one stream goes down.
Tell me more about, like, I saw
we do
something you posted about
Metro.
one.
So for us, we have streams. We call it like our banners. So working with like the big banner stores, then we do our independents through another distributor. We work with Horizon Nature, so another distributor that brings it to smaller boutiques, or like Avril and Tao and all of that. And then we do still some direct to stores, and we do food service also. So we work with restaurants and distributors in that kind of like hotel, restaurant institutions. So we have a lot of separate channels, but that's really important to have, because what can happen, like you said with Metro, one of the distribution centers where we keep our products, that warehouse and distribution center has been on strike since March. So for 4 months.
2026.
Yeah, of this year.
Okay.
So what that means for us as a small business is all of our products have to be shipped to that one location, and then that location redistributes to all of the Metros and Super Cs in the province. So if that warehouse can't work, our products can't be sent to any. So our products haven't been in Metros or Super Cs for 4 months.
And you cannot switch warehouses.
No, not really. It's not how it works. And you can't even, I couldn't even show up to Metro with a case of products to give it to them, because then they can't pay me, because I need to be paid them,
you have to go through the system.
That's it. There's a whole system set up. So for us, when that had happened, we went like, whoa. And we thankfully had those other channels. Like, we started working with the IGAs a few months after, which thank goodness. And we had our other channels. But if you don't diversify your channels, like you had said, if we were only relying on Metro, even though at the time we were heavily relying on them for our cash flow, but when that goes away, you're kind of struck with the, realization of like, we better we better make sure we've got cash coming from
Super
somewhere else.
interesting. Usually a lot of people are happy like they got into one of the stores, but I think it's like you said, it's a good strategy to have different ones.
Oh yeah.
If you're able, obviously there's always not the
yeah.
possibility to do it, but if you can have that like in your business objectives to have multiple of the big ones and the small ones and
Yeah. If all your eggs are in one basket,
Yeah.
it's so risky, and then
super interesting. Recently, I was in a marketing convention in France, and they talked a lot about real life events. So the entire convention was about AI in marketing. That was all the panel discussions and everything.
Understandably.
But there was a big emphasis about keeping the human in the equation and doing a lot of real life events and real life activations. And basically, that's where I met you at one of the real life events that are here in the city. How often do you do that? Is this part of your strategy to make people get to know you?
Yeah, and especially for a product like this that is still a bit niche, and if somebody doesn't know it, they do have to taste and try the product before. I don't think not many people anyways, are impulse buying kimchi if they've never tried it before and they don't know what it is. So yeah, we try to do as many events as possible. We're just now, like this year, next year, that's our goal. Is just any event, pretty much. I'm just like, yes.
Yeah.
We do a lot of festivals, like the bigger ones, like Expo Manger Santé. We did Cial this year, which is a B2B one. And then we do even the markets, which seem like smaller ones, right? That's kind of where you start if you're doing a food product. You start with the festivals at Jean Talon Market, now Water
But that's
Market,
where we find out about new things.
That's right. And it's not just, like you said, doing marketing. It's the only time that us as founders gets live feedback from people. You know, people can't really fake if they're trying something and they don't like it. And people give us really good ideas on innovative new products or how to adjust flavors or, you know, even with packaging. There's some of our best ideas sometimes just come from somebody just says something that we meet at a festival and we go, and kind of like log it and like write it down quick. We're like, pro tips next time, like do this. And
Did you ever get a negative feedback like in your face?
Oh, for sure. For sure. Yeah. I mean, a polite negative one.
Okay.
Usually people are like,
how?
C'est pas pour moi. Like, no, not for me. I'm like, that's fine.
I mean, we're still in Quebec, so people are polite. They will not say bad things.
Yeah. Nobody's like, yes, it's fucking disgusting. No, but it's for sure. But it's like anything.
It's normal.
You can't please everybody.
Yeah. And how seriously do you take the feedback? Like, do you immediately create something new for them? Do you switch recipes? How do you do that?
I have to kind of actively stop myself from doing it because I feel so passionate about it. I'm just like, well, somebody wants it spicier, but let's make it spicier. And then thankfully Nikita's more of the bigger. He like is the zoom out. I'm always zooming in. So he zooms out and he's like, no, just that was two people. Two people told you it should be spicier.
Yeah.
Like, let's just So usually we'll just kind of keep track of certain things that we've noticed, whether it's things that the buyers want, that the customers want. We just kind of keep track of these things. And then if we see trends over time, we go, okay, so it's time. Let's start switching this or start creating this product because people have been asking a lot about it.
How do you decide to create a new flavor?
Usually based on that. I mean, we haven't created a new flavor in a while. And as I'm saying that, I just remembered that we are launching a new flavor and I brought it.
Which one
This
is
how much stuff is in your brain, right?
Yes,
When you're running a business and you got all these babies at home.
Which one is it?
It's called a Pikliz. So it's in no way a new...
Can I see it?
Yeah.
It's on that side.
We didn't invent this, but I mean, this is our take on a Pikliz, which is a Haitian sauerkraut. So fermented with chilies like Scotch bonnets and fresh lime juice and cabbage, carrots, onions. It's so fresh and vibrant and spicy. It's spicy as all hell.
So it's sauerkraut made in a Haitian recipe.
Yeah, it's traditionally a Haitian recipe. So this is our twist on it. We didn't do it as traditional as it would be.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the pickles.
Thanks.
Tell us about that.
Old school deli style pickles, no vinegar, just like sour, crunchy.
Yeah.
It's just salt, water, pickles.
See, I'm like I can feel the taste. I can feel the taste.
This jar is for you.
I already finished
I
one.
love our pickles. Yeah. It's the type of pickles like when when I was growing up, my grandfather was always getting stuff at like Schwartz Deli or at
Yes.
the Snowden Deli. And these were the pickles. I'm like, oh my God, these are the ones. Not to shit talk like other pickles that are vinegar-based pickles. I love all pickles. But these are the ones like of my childhood where I'm like, oh yeah, these are the ones I love.
That's pretty cool. Let's say how big is your team? Is it still like a smaller enterprise? You and your husband?
Yeah, other than our partners with the co-packers or our sales representatives on the road and stuff like that, it's just him and I.
And how are you managing every single, you have the big stores, you have the small stores, the co-packers, the salespeople, and the numbers and the financials and
you just surround yourself with other people, although they're not direct employees of Good Big Nice. You surround yourself with other people, whether it's you subcontract somebody to help you with the finances for a little while. Like we have an accountant who helps us out. She's not a full-time employee, but she is somebody that I run to all the time. And then you just surround yourselves with teams of people. We've got brokers, we've got people, like I said, the sales representatives on the road as well, the co-packers, the people at the factory. These are all people who are supporting us in a huge way, despite not being just employees. But then it just being the two of us, and really lately, ever since the co-packer came into the equation, it's much more me taking care of things than Nikita, because that was his whole department prior. So it's a lot. It's a lot to juggle. But you do, you figure it out. You just plan accordingly. And
how is it like working with the husband?
I love it.
Yeah?
Oh my God. It's, some of the biggest arguments we've ever had, fights, I'll say fights. It wasn't even an argument, like fights have been because of work. So that at the beginning was of course challenging. You're trying to find a way not to be so personal when it is about work. But then at the same time, that's actually kind of what I love, that our work did become personal. And the thing that I find, the two things really that I love the most about doing it is, one, I get to spend time with him all the time. Yeah. Like, we just like each other. Like, we're really good friends.
Some people won't like being being there all the time.
That's why, like, for us, like, we really liked that. And it's somebody who gets to understand all the challenges you're going through. Like, they get it. Right at the end of the day, I'm sure you go home and you talk to your partner, you're just like, oh, what a day I had. Yeah. I don't even have to say that to him. I just look at him and I'm like, today, huh? And he's like, yeah, I know. Like, so you kind of understand each other. And then the other thing that over time I started to realize is not a lot of people get to watch their significant other like really excel at what they do. Like if you're lucky enough to be partnered with somebody who loves their job, like I don't know what your partner does, but let's just pretend they're a carpenter. You wouldn't go and watch them build a piece of furniture and be like, wow, like he's so good at doing that. You don't visit your significant other at work. It's just not right. So this is something I get to watch him excel, and it's sexy. It's like I'm like, whoa, you are this person is so capable. They're so good. My God, they have such good ideas. Like, so for us, we've really found that like, it's like really kept our relationship alive. Because cool. I find like, it's really
interesting.
It's sexy to watch people excel and do really well at their work.
Maybe that's why it's working. Like I've talked to other people and they're like, it's like we're together the whole day. And, it's like the opposite of what you're saying. Meanwhile, you're excited about it. Yeah. Do you take work home? Like when you're at home, do you separate these things from, or do you keep everything mixed together?
It's a big old mess, especially now because we work from home. So we don't go to an office anymore. We might one day again, because for me personally, I love the physical separation of having an office outside of the house. But for now, we're working at home because of the new baby and stuff. Yes. So we do that. So nope, there is zero separation. It is just a
weekend all day.
No, not weekend. Well, weekends. Look, if something comes up, sure, I'll answer something on my phone. But no, we really kind of work Monday to Friday. Yeah. Even sometimes during the summer, it's not really Monday to Friday. We take some days off, but it's all mixed in the sense that like, the desk is in the living room and sometimes I'm working from the bedroom and the baby's napping on us and we're working a bit. And it's a big old mess.
It's convenient if you have a baby, especially that it's like a new baby. Yeah. Exactly. So basically you're taking care also of your marketing.
Yep.
And how are you doing that and juggling the whole thing together?
That is the department for me where I now need, like for the rest of the year, that's a part of my goal, is I need to be surrounding myself with more people to help take care of that, because you get so I got so focused on, get IGA, get into as many stores as you can, grow, and then you kind of forget that you need to support the sales that are there, right?
Exactly.
Getting onto shelves is pretty easy.
Exactly.
You do as much as you can, whether it's like you said, you're making reels, you're doing social media
Yeah.
as much as you can, you're doing festivals, degustations in stores,
It
demos.
takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of time. But it's not just social media. Like there's a lot of components in a marketing strategy. So
Exactly.
you really
Yeah.
need to
So
decide on what you want to do and then get the people to
that's the
to do
key.
it.
So right now I'm at that point where I need to be making a decision about what's the actual strategy
Yeah.
versus just like fucking around and finding
Yeah.
out and just reacting
Exactly.
or just pushing everything out there. Yeah, that's going to be
Exactly.
That's got to
Perfect.
be my focus.
Let's do like a rapid fire round of questions.
Oh, I'm ready.
Not difficult.
Not difficult?
Not difficult. Don't be
It's not like a
scared.
test. Will there be a score?
No. All right, ready?
Yeah.
What is the biggest misconception people have about fermented foods?
That it's not pickled. Like people think there's vinegar in it, and there's not.
Oh, okay. What is the best $1,000 you've spent on the business in the last 6 months?
Oh, in the last 6 months. It's probably a year, but I'll tell you, it was getting that accountant to come in, sending all of your finances to somebody and saying, pick this apart.
Agree.
Yeah.
Agree. Same. Did you ever turn down a retail or a partnership opportunity?
Yes.
What was it?
recently. I'm not going to, no, I
Don't
won't say
name-
who it was.
don't name, yeah.
But a big banner store wanted us to do a private label. So to make a kimchi under their house brand. But we had to say no because they wanted it as close to our recipe as possible, but at half the price, essentially.
Yeah.
So, and that was hard. I want to say yes to everything. And so that one was a no.
Was that the only no you said?
No, we've said no to other ones now over time, mostly to think, kind of started more and more thinking about my time as money too, right? So even sometimes I want to say yes to something, but I have to really think, what am I going to really get on this? Like, what's the return
Yeah.
on this investment of my time and energy? And if I don't think I can commit that time, then I say no to it. But it's hard. It's hard to say no.
Yeah, I know. I know, but sometimes you have to if it's not aligned with your objectives or if you, I don't know, there's
Or,
so many reasons.
Sorry, I know it's rapid fire,
No,
but
no.
still. Somebody told me recently, they were like, if you feel like you would not want to do it tomorrow, like let's just say for this podcast, right? Somebody's like, hey, you want to come and do a podcast? I'm like, would I want to go tomorrow? If the answer is no, then I say no to it.
Okay.
Because I had a bad habit of, things are so far in the future. Oh, you want to come and do something in 2-3 months? I'm like, yeah. And then the time comes, I'm like, oh, I don't really feel like doing this, or I don't have the time. And so if you don't want to do it tomorrow, if you wouldn't feel like doing it tomorrow or couldn't commit to doing it tomorrow, if it doesn't make sense tomorrow, just say
I'm
no.
going to use this.
Yeah. It works. It's like really helped me.
All right, last one. Describe the good, big, nice product line in the year 2030
Ooh.
in just 3 words or a few words.
It's the reference for fermented foods in Canada. Canada's kimchi.
Canada's kimchi. The entire country.
Oh yeah.
Is that one of your goals?
Yeah,
To expand.
Yeah, we're launching in targeted markets in the rest of Canada by the end of the year.
Amazing. Let us know so that we share it with everyone.
Yeah, I will for sure.
Where can we find you? How can people connect with you and find your products?
So we're available in every IGA across Quebec. It's in the fruits and vegetables department, so really right next to the lettuce or sometimes it's next to the tofu.
Is it in the fridge?
It's in the fridge, yeah. So refrigerated. It's not in the aisles. Also in Metro and Super C's, despite the strike, you can still find it in some places, and the strike will end eventually. So
hopefully,
and then in PA and Tao and tons of independent grocery stores. If you go on our website, which is just goodbignice.com, we have a map, so you can zoom in next to your house and see the spot that's closest to you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Emma, for doing this.
Thank you so much.
It was a pleasure having you. And to all the listeners, I'll be back next week with a new episode.